On July 1st, 2026, at approximately 2 a.m., a man walked into a bank ATM vestibule on the 1800 block of Market Street in San Francisco, carrying a small kitten. According to the San Francisco Police Department, what happened inside that vestibule was captured on surveillance. The man allegedly killed the 6-week-old animal, then fled the scene carrying the remains. San Francisco Police Chief Derek Liu called it, quote, "truly a sickening act." But when investigators started digging into the suspect's background, this was not a first-time offense. The man they were looking for had a documented history of animal cruelty stretching back years. He had a prior felony conviction, and despite all of it, he had still been able to keep getting his hands on kittens. His name is William Ohlson. He is 33 years old, a resident of Reno, Nevada, and the investigation into his alleged crimes would span 2 states, involve a rooftop chase, drone surveillance, a K-9 unit, and a California Supreme Court ruling that would let him walk free before investigators were even done building their case. If this is your first time on this channel, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next. We cover cases like this every week. To understand how this case unfolded, you have to understand the gap between 2 systems. On one side, animal rescue organizations dedicated to finding homes for vulnerable animals. On the other, a criminal justice framework that treats animal cruelty suspects very differently from those accused of violence against people. Jennifer Herbst runs the biggest little cat rescue in Reno. According to Herbst, her organization approved Ohlson to adopt 2 kittens named Nola and Haven on July 8, 2026. That was just 1 week after the alleged killing in San Francisco. Herbst told reporters that nothing during the adoption process raised any red flags. She said Ohlson appeared normal and seemed excited to meet the kittens. That assessment changed within 48 hours. The San Francisco case started on the morning of July 1st. According to San Francisco Animal Care and Control and the SFPD, Ohlson allegedly entered the bank ATM vestibule on Market Street around 2 a.m. with a small kitten. Police said he harmed the animal inside the vestibule and then left the area with the body. A witness later led authorities to the kitten's remains, which had been left on Market Street near the location of the incident. The body was recovered by investigators. Back in Reno, roughly 2 days after Ohlson adopted Nola and Haven from the biggest little cat rescue, one of the kittens, Haven, was found abandoned in a carrier near a dumpster. Washoe County Animal Control recovered the animal. But when they contacted the rescue, Herbst asked the obvious question: where is the second kitten? According to Herbst, Animal Control didn't even know a second kitten had been adopted. Nola was unaccounted for. San Francisco Animal Care and Control led the investigation on the Market Street case, working alongside the SFPD. Over a 2-week period, investigators used surveillance footage and other evidence to identify William Ohlson as the suspect. They tracked him to the Oak Hotel at 171 Fell Street in San Francisco. On July 14th, officers served a search warrant at the hotel. But when they arrived, Ohlson ran. According to police, he climbed out of his hotel room window and onto the roof of a 2-story building next door at 165 Fell Street. Officers deployed a drone from the city's real-time investigation center. The drone operator spotted Ohlson pacing on the rooftop. According to CBS San Francisco, he interacted with officers who leaned through a nearby window and talked to him from the ground, but he wouldn't come down. The San Francisco Fire Department responded with a truck and ladder. Officers apprehended Ohlson on the roof and booked him into San Francisco County Jail. Now here is where the case takes a turn that outraged both prosecutors and the public. Think about what you would expect to happen next. Keep that in mind. When investigators dug into Ohlson's background, they uncovered a clear pattern. According to Washoe County Regional Animal Services, Ohlson had been charged with felony animal abuse back in 2020 for allegedly harming a kitten inside a vehicle in a Walmart parking lot in Reno. That incident was also captured on video. According to 2nd Judicial District Court records in Washoe County, Ohlson was convicted in 2022 of attempting to willfully and maliciously harm a companion animal. Court records show he was sentenced to 19 to 48 months in prison. But that sentence was suspended, and he was placed on probation for up to 18 months. Washoe County Regional Animal Services confirmed that they maintain a Do Not Adopt list, started in 2023, to track individuals charged with animal abuse and related offenses. Ohlson was on that list. but the list was shared primarily with the county's transfer partners. It did not reach every private rescue placing animals in homes. The Reno Police Department stated that Ohlson was accused of adopting kittens and later recording videos depicting the animals being harmed. That detail comes directly from RPD's official statement and is one of the most significant elements of this investigation. During the Reno arrest, neighbors told reporters that officers removed a firearm, a computer, and other items from Ohlson's residence. If you're watching this and wondering how someone with a felony animal cruelty conviction was still able to adopt kittens, you are not alone. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think about the gaps in this system. On July 17th, San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins formally announced charges. Ohlson was charged with felony killing, maiming, or abusing an animal under California Penal Code 597AT. He was also charged with a felony count related to the cruel treatment of an animal under Penal Code 597B. A misdemeanor charge of resisting, obstructing, or delaying a peace officer was added under Penal Code 148A1. But after being booked into the San Francisco County Jail, Ohlson was released what DA Jenkins described as essentially immediately. Jenkins explained that a recent California Supreme Court ruling called In re Kowalczyk limits pretrial detention to cases involving violence against people, not animals. Under this ruling, flight risk cannot even be considered. Jenkins expressed frustration publicly, saying her office would still do everything possible to make sure no other animal ended up in Ohlson's possession. Ohlson left California and went back to Reno. He was scheduled to be arraigned at the Hall of Justice in San Francisco on Monday, July 20th at 1:30 p.m. He never showed up. A bench warrant was issued. 3 days later, on July 23rd, Reno police received tips from neighbors that a man matching Ohlson's description had returned to his home on Stewart Street. Officers set up a perimeter around the house and tried to reach him by loudspeaker and cell phone. When he didn't respond, the Washoe County Sheriff's Office sent in a K-9 unit. Body camera footage released by the Reno Police Department captured the standoff. Officers warned Ohlson that the dog would be sent inside. He then stepped out from behind a door with his hands raised and was taken into custody. He was arrested on outstanding warrants, including a felony warrant tied to the animal cruelty investigation being led by Washoe County Animal Control. In that body camera footage, neighbors can be heard thanking the officers as Ohlson was walked to the police vehicle. It is important to note that Ohlson has been charged but has not been convicted in these current cases. Every defendant is presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. The biggest unresolved question in this case goes beyond one suspect. He had a 2022 felony conviction for animal cruelty. He was on Washoe County's Do Not Adopt list, and he was still able to walk into a private rescue and walk out with 2 kittens just days after the alleged San Francisco incident. Rescue owner Jennifer Herbst has publicly called for better information sharing between animal control agencies and rescue organizations. The county's Do Not Adopt list exists, but it clearly did not reach every organization placing animals into homes. That is the question this case leaves behind. How many other convicted animal abusers are still able to acquire animals through gaps in the system? And what would it take to close those gaps? As of late July 2026, William Ohlson is in custody in Washoe County, Nevada, on felony animal cruelty charges. He also faces felony charges in San Francisco and has an active bench warrant for failing to appear at his arraignment. Investigations in both jurisdictions remain active and ongoing. This case has clearly struck a nerve across the country. I want to hear from you. Should animal cruelty cases carry the same pretrial detention rules as cases involving violence against people? Let me know in the comments. If you made it this far, do me a favor. Hit subscribe, share this video with someone who cares about these issues, and turn on the bell so you catch the next one. William Ohlson had a felony conviction on his record, a suspended prison sentence, and his name on a Do Not Adopt list, and none of it stopped what allegedly happened next.